by Lin Rountree, everyone. Welcome to Let's Jazz It Up, blogtalkradio.com. Here I am, Brenda Moss, a.k.a. Lady Diva. Tonight, we have a jazz trumpeter on his groove tonight. Welcome, Lin.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How you feeling?
All right, all right. Phone lines are open, 657-383-0771. Anyone can call in now and speak to my guest for tonight. Where are you calling from, Lin?
I am calling from the great state of Michigan and the city of Detroit, Motor City.
All right, fans out there, call in now. Give them what you want to hear. All right, Lin, tell us how your journey began, briefly, on how you got started in the music industry. What motivated
I got
you?
started. Yeah, well, as in school, you always strive to do something, and so I picked up the horn because my father used to be a trumpet player, and there was always a trumpet on the mantelpiece that he had played, and his mother had given him. And his old saying in the house was, "This house is yours. You can touch anything in this house. The only thing in this house you can't touch is that cornet on the mantelpiece." And of course, I touched that one. He set it up to find out whether or not I had touched it, and said, "Okay, well now you touched it. Now you got to play it." So that's what started me playing the trumpet. But I eventually gravitated to love it, and when I graduated high school, and got a scholarship to Florida A&M University, playing the trumpet before playing my trumpet. He gave me that cornet and said, "Hey, this is for you. It's for you to put on your mantelpiece, because it helps start you off down this journey that I don't even know where it's going to end up, but I think it's going to be something special for you, because I've seen how you gravitated towards music and the trumpet." So that's what got me started in playing the trumpet. And at Florida A&M University, my alma mater, playing in the Marching 100 and being surrounded by so many awesome musicians and players, and having to go through the discipline and rigors of being in a big time marching band program as storied and historical as Florida A&M University Marching 100, helped give me the groundwork and the baseline to be able to go out and be a professional musician. And so all of that tutelage that I got down there led to me just gravitating towards music. And then the business of music came from my time in the business program at Florida, and one of the premier business programs down there. So I was able to merge the two and begin and create a successful career. And started off here in Detroit.
All right. Thank you for that information. Wow. So how long you been in the music industry?
Well, I've been playing since I was a kid. But if we want to talk about professional music, I created my first CD in 2004. I came out with 2005 to release Groove Tree, my first CD, and I'm 6 CDs in and working on my 7th project. So I've been in for a minute. I started a band around Detroit, and prior to my CDs, and because no one was hiring a trumpet player. They said everybody was hiring everybody had a full band, drums, bass, keys, and maybe a singer, maybe a guitar, maybe a sax player. So it was a bunch of sax players, but nobody was hiring a trumpet player to play any solos. And I was a solo. I was like, look, I want to be a soloist, and I would hit all the jazz sit-ins and jam sessions as I could. But they were playing old school jazz. I love old school jazz. That's what I grew up on, and in terms of cutting my teeth. But my leanings were more towards R&B and soul. And in that environment, there weren't that many trumpet players. It was all the saxophone players doing it. So I had to start my own band, and so that's what I did. I started my own band right around 1999, 2000. I started my own band, and then after playing so many gigs, people would ask me all the time, "Hey, man, we love what you're playing. We love what you're doing. Do you have a CD?" And I said, "Well, no. Maybe I should have a CD. Maybe that's a little way to make a little extra money after the gig." So that's when I put a CD together. I didn't know what I was doing. I just had some songs that I put together on a little QI100 Yamaha, and I let a couple of guys hear it, and those couple guys turned out to be great producers, Dana Davis and Billy Meadows. Billy Meadows used to be married to Jennifer Holliday, and he knew exactly where I was going with my little music, and they they asked, well, can we produce you, man? Because we see the fire, we see you doing the things around the city and putting your band together. You just came on the scene and you got your business sense together, so we want to work with you. And the rest is history. My first CD was my first single was with Tim Bowman, who is from this area and married to Ricky Winans and involved with the Winans, and so it's a big music community here in Detroit. So if you you didn't have to leave, you didn't have to go anywhere outside of a 25-30 mile radius to find genius music and musicians and people who had actually been and played in and around Motown. So I mean, they know music here in Detroit, which I was so blessed to be able to at least touch and experience a lot of these people before they passed away, and some of them are still around, but many of them are gone. But when I came here, they were still out in the clubs jamming. They're still able to give their advice, and I was able to just suck it in like a sponge.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that you were able to take out time to come on my platform. I've been following you for like 3 years. And what I came across was a lot of your older albums. And I love the way you do the cover songs. I'm a jazz favorite myself. And how do you feel about doing the cover songs than your own original written music?
Well, I mean, of course, you love to be, because, you start off, most people who start off in this genre of music, if you're an R&B band, you're a cover band. I mean, you can't get away. You can't get around it. You're just not going to start playing gigs and just start playing some original music. Some people are, but most people, when they're playing the circuit, particularly in Detroit, particularly in around the areas, you're going to be a cover band. So I've always loved covers, but I always wanted to do the right covers, the right cover tunes that fit well with my horn, my instrument, fit well with my band and my vibe and what I like, just not any covers. And that's what made my working cover band so great, is because I approached everything like a DJ, in my unit, and I played songs that, were amenable to people's ears. And so that's when you start talking about recording. I've only done 2 cover tunes in my entire 6 CDs.
I caught on to them too.
The cover tunes that I did were tunes. The one tune that I did was "When You Rock My World," Michael Jackson. I was scared to death because first you don't do any cover tunes, then you jump in and do the King of Pop, Dark South production, and you don't want to mess it up, and so that I agonized about that on my 3rd CD. That was actually the last song I did on my 3rd CD, because I was so nervous and scared to put it on, and something kept missing. So I finally figured out what was going on. I put it in the track, and it came out, and people really, really enjoyed it. And so I love doing cover tunes. I don't want to be a cover tune person because I've got a lot of original music. But oftentimes when you're instrumentalist, you want to engage your people. So when I do live, what I'll do is I'll mix cover tunes into my songs, my existing songs. Sometimes just to engage the crowd, pull the crowd in, and because they perk up when they hear a song that they're familiar with. And then you bring them in, you set them up for the, I hate to say it, but you set them up for the explosion, because you bring them in and you say, ooh, boom, okay, now I got your attention. Now here's some Lin Rountree. So I believe cover tunes help in a lot of ways, but they're also just fun to play. I mean, they're fun, especially if you do them right. So.
And you definitely do it right, Lin. We're going to go off into this new album. Tell us all about this new album, Stronger Still, and also about the track that I played. What inspired you?
Well, Stronger Still, the title to the album has a lot to do with my progression in the industry. Like I said, I started writing my first CD in 2002. We finally came out with it in 2004, released nationally in 2005. So, we fast forward to today, it's over a decade in the industry. And, some people can't get past, their second CD. And because it's not because it can't be done, it's because there's a lot of outside factors that pull against you making a CD and prospering in music, whether it be your family, responsibilities, resources, money, depression, because this is people don't see what goes into doing the music. They just see us on stage and having a good time. But there's a lot of very thankless nights. There's a lot of
Yeah, of
times when
course.
you wonder, am I doing the right thing? Am I good enough? You see
Yeah.
another trumpet player, oh man, maybe I should just quit because I can't play anything that Roy Hargrove hasn't played, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not this, or I'm not that, or my music, I thought it sounded good in the basement, and now I get it out and it sounds terrible. I'm quitting. So there's a lot of, and